Hi Cancer, welcome to your Harsh Truth reading for September 15th through October 14th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. If this is about you and another person, this could resonate with theirs or your moon, rising, or Venus sign. Speaking of which, I'm going to do the general spread and then I will do the a little bit about your person over here. So if you're just interested in the general spread, you can just hang around for that. Or if you're interested in everything, whatever you want to do, I'll do general, and then I'll do the person, and then I'm doing the oracle cards and the dice at the end, so you can pick and choose where you want to watch. All right, Cancer, what do we got here for Harsh Truth for Cancer? All right, Cancer. 3 of Cups. All right, Star, also boobies. That could be Aquarius. When I read that as Aquarius, it is Aquarius. King of Cups, I read that as Pisces. 7 of Cups. 4 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Oopsie. 6 of Swords. All right, can't be all bad. What's going on here? Okay. So what are you, what are you waiting for? What's this Star card about? What's this Star card about? So what are you gearing up for? You're gearing up for something here. You've been waiting, and then you feel like you're gonna have to deal with something, and you're kind of, almost feels like you're bracing yourself for it, or you're feeling like you're gonna have to get vertical on something here. What's this Star card about for Cancer? Strength, that could be, or that could be Leo. All right. So what's this? Hoping the good streak continues. What's this? 7 of Cups. Praying you have strength for what? What's this 7 of Cups? Temperance. That could be Sagittarius, Cancer, or Scorpio. What's this King of Cups about for Cancerian? All right. So this is like an internal thing here. Like you're kind of dealing with going back and forth between beating yourself up and feeling like, oh, you know, there's worry and everything's fine, but you feel like something's coming. You feel like the other shoe's going to drop on something. And this has been for about the past 3 months. Like this has been kind of like a growing concern. And perhaps it's because there's been hiccups lately where there was just like a solid streak of just consistency. And now in the past couple months, there's been hiccups. You're bracing yourself for something more, and it's not showing up here, but it's like you're worried about something coming. Hold on. All right, so what's this 4 of Wands here? This 4 of Wands. This 4 of Wands here. 5 of Cups. All right, good for you. 6 of Swords. What's that? Good. You're wanting to move past the drama. 4, 5, 6. So, wait a second. 4, 6, 7. Oh, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right. What's this 6 of Swords? Cancer. Pisces or Cancerian. That's a High Priestess. Good for you. Good for you. What's this Page of Pentacles here? Pisces. For Pisces. I said Pisces, I caught myself. What's this Page of Pentacles for Cancerian? Page of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Nice. Okay, so there it is. So this is you, throttle back. Throttle back, because you need to, whatever it is, you need to take that worry and that sort of vigilance you've been feeling down a couple notches here. This is all about taking it in stride taking it in stride, and whatever does befall you, you need to know that you can handle it, and you will rise to the occasion, and that this is you seeing your way out of a confusing or perhaps kind of muddy situation, seeing your way out of it, using logic and intuition, and being grounded and getting out of that worry and that. And I don't know why I feel this worry. I mean, it's not that it's showing up here. It's just, I feel like you're on edge. I feel like there's this sort of, like there's this vigilance. But it's not as pronounced, or it's not as big as you think it is, and you can manage that also by you throttling back, like you not letting it get out of control, like you balancing between compassion and reality and actuality. Like this is not running away with, you need to balance this out. This is all about reining it in, not letting your mind run away with sort of negative possibilities, I guess, because worry is just a horrible wish, more often than not. So whatever befalls you, you do have what it takes to manage. And this is about just taking things in stride. And just because there's a few disappointments with the way things are, it's almost like maybe you want it to hurry up and get here so you know what you're dealing with. But the way things are is certainly manageable. It is not going to be I want to say hellmouth, that's a weird word, that you think it is. It's not going to be the devastation or the, oh no, that you think it is. It's just a little bit more hiccups here, hiccups there, but it's about management, and it's about watching and waiting and having patience, having compassion, seeing it for what it is, balance, and knowing that when this crops up, manage it, and know that whatever happens, it's not nearly as bad as you think it might be. Not only that, you've got what it takes to manage it, and you also have help. So whatever's going to happen, whatever you're afraid of happening, it's not nearly as bad as you think it is. It's entirely manageable. Perhaps it is just a deviation from the consistent streak that's been, and perhaps this is just that but like the propensity to kind of worry and be on alert so that you can maintain that consistency. It's like you're wanting to get out in front of it, so you worry first and then you're consistent afterwards because you've taken care of the worry, so now things can be consistent, but they can't be consistent until you've worried about it. That way you know that you've covered all the bases, so now it's just consistent instead of something could happen. Nope, I've already worried about something happening. Now it's just consistent. I mean, that, makes sense, right? So this is entirely manageable. And you will have help, and it's not going to be the disappointment that you thought it was. It's not going to interrupt anything. It's just going to be kind of life, just kind of the ups and downs of life, the everyday stuff. It's not going to be the altering stuff that maybe you fear it would be. All right, so yeah, not so harsh. I mean, it's kind of Eeyore. It's not. This is just, yeah. You're hoping, there's this hope and sort of wish that like things are still going to be going strong, that everything's okay, that you've got what it takes to manage it, and you do. But it feels like there's this sort of feeling that you're not quite ready for something yet, or you're not going to have what it takes. You're not going to be enough. You're not going to be strong enough. You're still, maybe it's about a relationship and you just don't feel quite ready. There could be some self-esteem issues here. It could be that you need to kind of figure it out and get more of a handle on issues of self-love or compassion, and just kind of wrapping up some issues related to that. But this is all like internal stuff that is entirely manageable. It just feels like you might be having a little trouble doing that. So maybe talking to someone about it that you trust to be compassionate or kind or have your back, but it's manageable without that too. I think what this is saying, because manageable keeps coming up, I think what this is saying is that you need to be proactive about managing it. And I think sometimes there's a propensity to just sit and wait and hope something happens to help a situation, instead of you taking a more proactive role. And so it's almost like whatever's going on has a potential to kind of be more than it is because of your lack of balance or management with it. It has this tendency to kind of really run away in your mind, because this is kind of internal here, more so than it should be, because you're not being proactive enough, and you doubt yourself. You're doubting yourself. And instead of that being sort of a prompting you to be like, okay, well, let's problem solve here. Let's get out in front of this, you know. It's like, no, my getting out in front of it is worrying about it. That's my part in it. No. That worry needs to be managed. Take it one step further and manage that. So I think that's what this is saying here. Because I'm looking for it and I don't see it. I'm looking for what's the big bad here and I don't see it. I see worry and self-doubt and kind of like, oh, do I have what it takes? Maybe I need to heal a little longer. No, you're fine. You can if you want, but I mean, you're fine. It's just that worry. All right. What else for Cancerian? Cancerian's person. Yeah, 2 more. Cancerian's person. Now, this is the part where I'm going to do the person, so if you're not interested, you could just go to the end. Cancerian's person. Whoopsie. Get in there. Cancerian's person. All right. 7 of Wands. Judgment. That could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Sagittarius. King of Swords. All right. Okay. All right. So if you're dealing with the person. So, okay. Is that why you're afraid? Is this why you're feeling like something's a lot bigger of a deal than it is? Is because you don't really want, maybe you don't feel ready for what somebody wants. You don't feel like you could handle somebody's decision about something. You don't feel like you could handle someone's return. You don't want that, and yet you feel powerless to stop it, or you feel kind of like you can't say no, or you're not going to be strong enough to withstand someone's sort of intent and being quite assertive about what they want. Is that what this is? Because this feels like someone's kind of coming in and wanting to explain themselves, wanting to talk to you, has a lot they want to say. They feel really strongly about things. And because this feels like you're waiting for something, but you don't know what. And I think it's because perhaps someone's made their intentions known, that they want to talk to you about this. And I've been thinking a lot about this, and I want to explain myself. And you're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I mean, maybe you do, but that would explain why you're kind of like bracing for something. What's this Judgment card? What's this Judgment about for Cancer? The World. All right. They decided to end it. Is that the decision you don't want? Is it they're thinking about ending it? Or is this someone wanting to plead their case for, hey, you know, there's a lot of potential here for us. Like, we could really make, well, what's this King of Swords here? I read that as Gemini. What's this King of Swords here? King of Swords. Okay. Okay. So this, I could see why there's this kind of, because this feels very intense. This feels like someone feels very strongly about wanting to plead their case. And they're quite decisive and quite, dare I say, overbearing. And so I could see why you're kind of bracing for impact, and why you're immediately feeling like you need to have a plan, or, well, I'm not ready yet. Because you probably don't want to hear it. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want it. And yet you're feeling like you have to suffer through it, or you have to at least engage with an audience, or you're having to kind of accommodate somebody that's just being quite pushy. If it's not that, it could be that you're simply, you don't know what yet, and you don't want to be forced to make a decision. You don't want to, you want some time to think about this. You don't know how you feel yet. You don't want to talk about it yet. This feels like you just don't know. And that would make sense why because you've got someone that does. And this, I mean, it could be the opposite. This is but this feels like someone that is pretty intent on how they feel, and wants to, it feels like wants to, there's a potential for us. We had something good. Well, maybe in their mind, I'm not so sure you feel the same way. I don't think they've gotten the message. I think that they think that their decisions should be kind of for both of you, and you're not sure how you feel yet. I think you are, but I think you feel kind of pushed. There's this sort of, it just feels really heavy, and like it lands on you. You've got to, it's almost like it's easier to capitulate than to stand your ground and go, well, I don't know what I want, and I don't think, because you're kind of liking where you're at, but this is causing you a lot of stress, and it feels like it's because someone wants what they want, and they can be very overbearing and domineering, and they can plead their case all they want. They can sit there and explain it to you. Well, this is why we should. Yeah, but what about what you want? Where's your opinion? Is that allowed? This feels like someone has thought about it, and I'm ready, and you're like, well, I don't know if I am. I don't know what I want. I don't know. I don't know. And it seems like I don't know is not a good enough answer for them. So therefore, you don't know, we'll just follow my lead then. Well, that's not an answer for you either. And it doesn't have to be. It's a little pushy. It's a little pushy. So that must have been why it was like, okay, you got what it takes to solve this or manage this. You can get vertical on this. You have what it takes to navigate through this. Because that's why it feels like you don't, because you got someone just kind of plowing through. And I think anybody would bristle with that. I think anybody would be like, hold on a minute. There's a little bit of fear here, but it's more of feeling like, oh God. Because I think it feels like you want more time. You want more time. You don't know yet. You're unsure. That this kind of makes sense now, that you're wanting to do the baby steps. You're wanting to not give an answer. Kind of just like to wake up and be like, oh, it's this day today, and this is what I have to do, and that's all there is, and we're good, But instead, it's like you've got all this weight to this decision that somebody else wants, and you're still trying to figure out what you want. I don't like that. I mean, it's not as bad as you think it is. It's a simple act of following through and being kind of having just as much conviction as they do, but it feels daunting, and it's probably because of shared history that you just feel like, well, they won't listen to me or they won't honor that. Well, okay, but, and this doesn't feel like a safety issue. It just feels like somebody that's just kind of very one note and pushy, and you don't want the drama, so you capitulate, but there's a history of that. So now this person's fully expecting to have your buy-in, and it's like, oh, I don't know is code for I'll just do whatever you want. It's not that either. Perhaps they need to hear you this time. Lovingly and compassionately and for yourself. Certainly not going to, if you don't want to deal with it, you don't want to deal with it, and you can take measures to do that. But this is you not wanting any drama, but at the same time just wanting to be very fair and go, you know what, I'll let you know, or just, you don't need to go any further. Stop right there. You need to back off. I need time. And because it's like you don't want to escalate, and you don't want to get things, and I'm not advising here. I'm saying what's showing is that you don't want the drama. You don't want to be disrespectful, but it's, at the same time, you don't like having to be put in this position where you feel like you have to kind of fend somebody off or kind of downplay something, or, I mean, this could be an annoying coworker where you're like, oh, Lord, this one's coming to our department and we got to deal with this. Oh, gosh, you know how that person is, All right, what else for Cancerian? Eight of Swords. I don't like that. But that could also be advice as far as do nothing, do not engage. You're not compelled to engage. You're not compelled to, do anything but sign that paper. And if it's not having to do with anything to close out property or otherwise with this person, you don't have to return that text. You don't have to answer them unless you're legally bound to do so. You really don't. And this would say right here, this is all about encouraging you to exercise that right to not engage. Because if you're not feeling right about it, if you don't know what to do, if you're feeling imprisoned here, why would you? You don't have to. It might feel like you do, but examine that. Look at that. Look at why you feel, does it really compel you? What they're doing, what they want, does it compel you to react? Does it need a response? If it doesn't, don't. Because it's not worth feeling this way, honestly. You got you all stressed out, and you don't need to be. Not for this. If it's going to cause that, shoot. That's not worth welcoming something back in your life just because someone wants to barrel their way through again because they're ready. Maybe you're not, like, ever. I mean, that's for a Cancerian. Somebody needs a boundary check for Cancerian. This one needs to get in this one's face. You can profess all the logic you want, and this makes sense, but the witch shows up, and it's that's for whoopsie, Cancerian. Because I feel like this is like, well, her, and then she's like, yeah, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Well, yeah, but you said I don't care. I don't care. And I don't care that you care. And I don't need to care that you care. Like I did the boundaries. Boundaries. Easier said than done, I know. I'm not saying, I mean, it's your situation. I wish this was easier for you because I feel like it's a whole lot more than it needs to be, but I think you're so used to having to capitulating or being a certain way, so old behavior patterns kick in, and then the anxiety sets in, and it's like, oh gosh, because it was peaceful, and then it's like, oh gosh, What else for Cancerians? The Griffin. Honor and good luck. Really? All right. See where that plays into it. Okay. What else for this feels really out of place to me, honestly. It's like, what's this about? Honor and good luck? That's nice. I don't feel like this person's bringing that. I don't feel like this is a harbinger of that. All right. What else for Cancerian? Huh. Don't worry, be happy. Okay. Well, sometimes it's like, you know what? Why don't you don't worry and be happy? Why don't you? I could understand why you would be, because a lot of this is old programming, or it feels like this person makes a compelling case, so you should act. But really, I mean, you know your situation best. I hope that you get time to think about it. And it looks like you do. It looks like you're kind of monitoring your thoughts and really trying to gauge, do I need to involve myself? Can I do this being true to myself and still having some respect for myself when I come out of this situation? Feels like maybe you're trying to choose the best way to interact, but I hope that this can be managed, because it feels like it's got you all spun up, and I think there's a call here to get out in front of it, or to get more assertive. Even though you don't like to, this situation will call for it, because you got somebody that's kind of pushy here, kind of has their mind set on what they want. They've made up their mind. And they can be pretty pushy, so it looks like you're not in the frame of mind to make a decision. You don't want to have to deal with it. Don't know what you want yet. Don't want to have to decide. So hopefully that can be conveyed in a respectful, loving manner. Not for their benefit, but for yours, because you kind of really don't want the drama, and you just like someone to kind of leave you alone. Just saying. All right. For Cancerian. This is like someone that thinks they have the answers and they can just kind of push their way through. And then there's that, I don't know if some of you know, but there's like this reference for the name Karen, and oh, stop being a Karen about it, or that pushy woman stereotype. And this is like, okay, there's that, but then here comes Karen. Like, don't even try it. So that's probably It might be a bit of a struggle for you to get that, but you might need to harness your inner Karen or use it in this sense to kind of sort of cut the impact of this in half. Because it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. It should be a lot less of an impact on you. But all right. What else for Cancer? Ha! Okay. Yes. Queen of Swords. Got it. And what is that? That's the 9 of Swords reversed. Yay! I like it. Okay. So we've got the Queen of Swords again with the 9 of Swords reversed. All right. The key to solving this and to not worrying and to not being, you know, up at night and about there's that worry, letting that go is to get vertical on this and get assertive. And you got the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords. Yay. There's the green light. This is, you have full permission to stand your ground and have boundaries. And I like this because it feels like this person will push and they'll try, but you come out swinging when you need to. And not that I'm not advocating any kind of, but you get vertical when you need to. You'll speak your mind. You don't prefer having to get assertive like that, but you're going to meet like with like. You're not going to let someone push you around. So I'm glad to see that, because before it feels like you were kind of like, well, okay. But this is like, I know. You know, this is, yeah. So, okay. I feel much better. Trying to sit here and give you a pep talk and be like, it's okay, just, make sure. And this is like, oh, no, yeah, well, you got this. You're fine. You're fine. You see it for what it is. And while it might be not your natural state, you can very much convey what you want and how you feel, and what will and won't happen under no uncertain terms when the time comes. Without fear, without hesitation, with clarity. So my work here is done. No, it's not. But I'm glad this wrapped it up, because now I don't have to worry about you. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Cancer. So you got this. You don't like having to be in that position, but you got this. You're okay. Just know that someone very pushy is going to be trying to push their case on you, and you're just like, yeah. They just might have to be told very clearly. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Hope to see you in the next reading. I think I got all the cards. I did. Okay, all right. I hope to see you in the next reading. Much love to you, and go Cancer. Okay, all right. You take care.